In ancient Rome, they had gladiatorial contests where people fought to the death. These days, we have a comment box under my YouTube channel, which is more or less the same thing. Mr. Captain Patters, say it with me. President Trump. Imagine President Trump marching into the White House next November, the leader of what still remains the most powerful country on earth, armed to the teeth with nuclear weapons. It is a horrible, terrifying, vision of a future. I don't even know why Mr. Captain Patters would do this to us. And whatever happens for the future of this planet, we have to stop Donald Trump. And actually, I know I was smirky a bit there, but it isn't funny. It actually isn't funny. This is somebody whose rhetoric resembles some fascist leader from the 1930s. He is a threat to democracy and to freedom, and he really has to be stopped. Racy426. Hello, Racy426. You are one posh wanker. Well, actually, Racy426, I was just speaking to the butler, and the butler actually was chatting to the guardsman about this, and apparently the maid reckons that I'm not actually as posh as all that. So if my staff don't think I'm posh, then I don't see why some anonymous YouTube commenter knows any better. Matt Parry. Hello. Hi, Owen. Do you think that Jeremy Corbyn's message is getting over on the social media front, and is it enough to counter the mainstream media's bile? The thing is, social media is really important. I mean, I'm using social media now, so if I didn't think it was important, why am I doing this? But you can only reach a limited number of people so far through social media. The danger is you can end up with an echo chamber only talking to the converted. Now, I would argue I'm not doing that, judging by some of the comments I've already read out. It's still not an effective way of reaching tens of millions of people, and bear in mind there's over 60 million people living in Britain. So use social media, yes, but it's most effective at mobilising activists and getting them to, encouraging them to do things, get active, involved in their own communities, in my opinion. The mainstream media is obviously terribly biased, overwhelmingly hostile to Labour. The majority of the press is supportive of the Conservative Party. Most of the press is run by a very small group of very politicised media moguls who use their dominance of the media to wield political influence. But you can't ignore them, you can't stick your fingers in your ears and hope they'll go away. You've got to have a sophisticated strategy for dealing with the media. Alexander Harvey, commie. Oh, well, to the point, quite succinct. Not sure I'm technically a communist. I could be wrong, but you strike me probably, you've only left one word, but already I'm guessing you think anyone to the left of Genghis Khan is a frothing at the mouth Marxist-Leninist. But it's funny you should say this actually while we're on the subject of random insults, because Kelvin Mackenzie, he, in his column for The Sun newspaper, he said I was an untalented communist dwarf. Now, I'm not going to get bogged down in the untalented bit, let people decide. Dwarf, I'm 5'9" for a start. Now, Kelvin Mackenzie, I mean, I'm not going to get into a war of words with Kelvin Mackenzie, but he is somebody who, as editor of The Sun newspaper, smeared dead Liverpool fans. He has yet to apologise in any meaningful way whatsoever for those lies, and it goes beyond all that. I mean, he is somebody who should be regarded as a public pariah, as a national disgrace. So, his insult I'm happy for that to be my epitaph. Captain Boy, hi. Hi Owen, you've done 11 political interviews for your channel, including ones with the sole MPs for UKIP and the Greens. You haven't done any with the SNP, who are the third largest party at Westminster and have roughly 110,000 members. Why is this? I'm glad you raised this, because I really, really want to interview somebody who I think is an incredible parliamentarian, the youngest MP, Mhairi Black. I have tried, I've emailed, I've rung, and I haven't actually got a response. So, yes, I'm very, very keen to do so. I think it'd be fascinating. I think Mhairi Black in particular is, I think is a political icon in the making in lots of ways. But maybe you could lobby her. Don't troll her. Be very nice to her, and maybe ask kindly if she might be up for having a chat. I'll come to you. Fred Falk, hi. Freedom-hating economic terrorists, you are, but badly dressed, you're not. I mean, Fred, no offence, but you sound like Yoda. Economic terrorist, freedom-hating. Joseph Stalin, his regime, see how I've turned the tables, he used to go around calling people wreckers and saboteurs and effectively economic terrorists. So, you know, who's the Stalinist now? But badly dressed you're not. Well, I'll keep that. You've left a compliment. Good. I am going to take that. I'm economic... Oh, I can combine it. I could get a jumper, economic terrorist. I could set up a fashion label. So because of that, Fed Folk, it's your fault, I'm going to set up a freedom-hating economic terrorist fashion label. Phil Porter. I don't drink much anyway, even though I'm British, but I am damn well going to drink after Lemmy and Bowie have died. I have to say, the death of David Bowie, it's one of those moments where you just stop in your tracks, because it's kind of odd to imagine that he wouldn't be alive. He has this kind of... He's someone with that kind of quality where you kind of think he's always going to be there. And it's a real shock, actually. And I suppose my big memory of David Bowie was when I was a kid, I used to watch Labyrinth on repeat. And you know what? I'm determined this week I'm going to watch it again. It'll be the first time since I was a kid. And you know, David Bowie, the way he's dressed, very tight on the crotch area, I remember. But it is such a magical, incredible film, and it is made by his performance, not least of Magic Dance, which I was going to start singing then, but I'm not going to do it.
Dance, magic dance, dance, magic dance.
I think we can all unite, all of us, even those trolling me here in the comments box, and say the loss of David Bowie is a huge loss to our culture, our country, and the world as a whole. Thanks, everyone, including for the slightly hostile comments. But you know what? It's a broad church. Bring it on. Keep the comments coming. Always love to hear your thoughts. And subscribe if you fancy it. And I'll see you next time.